In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll shine. Hey, what's up, AMG? What's up, AMG?
I'm nice, my king. How are you? How are you? How are you?
Yeah. You see it, though. I think today there's just a lot that we have to discuss. I'm just hoping that we'll keep it around the hour mark or a little less.
Hey, man.
Or a little less. I think we've got so many things that we'd like to talk about. Otherwise,
we've got so. Me, I'm alive, man. I'm strong. I'm keeping up. I'm trying to keep up. Also, you know yourself.
Yeah.
I know. I'm very good. How are you? Strong. How are you, Lee?
I'm okay, man. I'm dope. Mentally strong.
Yes.
The backline guy.
How are you dealing, my brother? I mean, there's so many things that are happening. I think before I ask all the other questions like I normally ask, I just want to know when in Pilinjani, how are you dealing with everything? You know, we're seeing, we're going to talk about like your DVD and stuff and all those nice things, you know, but how are you keeping up?
Yeah, we want to know.
I'll be honest, it hasn't been easy though. It hasn't been easy. I think the only thing that's been keeping me sane is being a musician, because you can actually hide away from reality and just keep yourself in a cocoon of some sort. But it's tough, my brother.
We missed the stage.
We missed the stage, we missed communicating, we missed interacting with everybody, and also feeding off the whole entire design of being on stage, you know? So it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
No, that's very dope, man. But okay, I think where we were supposed to start, you know, I want to know, for the people who don't know who Tshego Tshego AMG. Yeah, me, I know you from
AMG.
When you were still Tshego that was it, you know, before the evolution. Before the evolution.
I still am.
No, now you're Tshego AMG.
Yeah,
the ones who don't know who Tshego AMG is, how can you maybe introduce yourself to them, you know?
Wow, okay. I always feel bad when I have to answer this question because I'm feeling, I think, you know, like I praise myself a lot.
No, that's good. That's what we're asking. That's exactly what we want. People must know who this person is. They must know.
Fishing in the lift.
Tshego AMG is the almighty guitarist, no one below. Everybody's, you know. I'm a young kid from Esiabuswa, small town in Mpumalanga. Play guitar, make noise for a living, and yeah, that's it, man.
That's beautiful. I was still waiting for the punchlines, bro. The ones that are making me feel like, you know, every time I say this thing, I feel snacks.
I'm trying to be diplomatic.
No way, my brother. This is not the show. This is not the show for diplomats.
But yeah, Tshego is the guy that you dance to his guitars every day. The one that you wake up to his music, sleep to his music. I think I've come to a point where I've placed myself in so many spaces that you cannot miss this guy called Tshego.
Yeah. So how was your childhood, Tshego?
My childhood was very funny. Grew up in a musical family, I can safely say. My dad was a choir master, guitarist, and a piano player. My mom was a teacher. I was a naughty kid, but basically naughty means I used to fiddle around everything. I built my first PC when I was 9. Started playing guitar. No, I was taught piano in grade 2 and then started playing guitar when I was 10. So basically it was either it's either I'm in the house playing guitar, or I'm just out there trying to find stuff to fiddle around, like old radios.
Something else to break.
Like yeah, basically. So yeah, that's basically it. Wasn't nothing special. But I think the most funny thing about my childhood was already at age 12 besengidlala emshadweni. So bengile igigayo in and around.
The guitar or the piano?
The guitar. Bengipimbela nje abazalwane abaningi. Yeah, bengipimbela iNkosi.
Upimbele enkosini.
Yeah.
So basically this is your background. Like mawukhula igataha uyibona khona la endlini. It's not something that you had to wait and get fascinated, you know, seeing it from other people playing in church or wherever. You know, you endlini
bikhona. But yes, I think I actually picked it up from Etsuntwini, which is an IPC, and basically that's the foundation. The church itself, or the church music itself, it's driven by guitar. So that's it made it easier for me to actually jump on it. But because I played piano and I had access to information chronologically, it was easier. It was very, very easy.
Oh, no, that's dope. So do you remember the very first band that played when you played, you know, at some point?
I think I made I made a post. I made a Facebook post the other day, actually giving a shout out to the Grootmans that were playing in my midst at the time. Mafisa Khobotle was he was our superstar guitar player at the time. The late Plaji Mahlangu, Thabo Squati, Tepo Bembe. So those are the guys when I went to church were the ones that were playing. And then there was this other phenomenal guitar player called Dumsani Makakula, who actually came to my house to try to teach me guitar, and I didn't see Jack. Like, I'm like, bruh, I
it sounds nice. It sounds nice, but I can't follow.
Yeah, I'm not grasping this until I started playing bass. That's when guitar made sense. So I started off in bass before I even jumped on. I even jumped on guitar, to be honest. But the bass was too backgroundy for me. So me, I like to be
upfront. Yeah. It's like, yeah,
I want to shine.
What's up?
I want to make sure that. Basically, that's the first band. And then from there, I transitioned to Pentecostal, the Pentecostal church, the charismatic churches, where I met like I'm chords and changes and you know harmony and these 6 bengamas until I got
No 4.
It's a corner no 6.
You know what I mean?
Flat 7. Hey, flat 7.
Flat 7, bro. Yeah, flat 7 was the one. So that's my school basically. My school is basically the street, man. It's the street. It's the street.
All right. Lee, jump on, bro.
How was your experience in the charismatic setup?
It was amazing. I think the information that you get from such an environment is beyond is too much, you know, and also the mere fact that people are willing to teach at the same time. I think Tina, in my traditional church where I come from, it's you learn by the ear, bro. There's no one that's literally gonna be there, you know, teaching you and showing you stuff. It's you learn by the ear. When you have a chance to hold the guitar, you need to be rocking. So when I got into the church was GKWC, and man, they were a family after my family. You know what I mean? So I can only speak amazing stuff about that.
Yeah. Hey?
Jump on.
Yeah.
So would you say that that circle introduced you to many mainline other artists?
True. I met Pastor Benjamin in that very setup way back. The first artist I worked with on a DVD platform was David D, who was invited to the church for a youth conference. So basically the opportunities were opened from that platform. Basically what I'm trying to say is agunak valelana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was if the door is there and you're willing to jump on it, go for it. They will support you all the way. They supported me in so many things, and also like just to keep you in check with life, you know. Tshego, are you fine? Is everything okay? Is school, you know, coming up nicely? What do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of me participating in the church, they even went beyond the participation of a Tshego in the church. They went as much as I said. They were family after my family. One of my first guitars was bought by the church, and so it's come on, you cannot look down on such an opportunity, or the grace that I was granted by the church itself. So even today, man, I really applaud the leadership and the community in the church that really built this Tshegofatso that we're talking about today.
So
Cool.
just to jump in, I wanted to know, Guti, can you remember the very first gig that you got that paid you, and how much was it?
Besides Mishado,
At 12.
it was I was 15 and it was Dr. Malinga. The gig was paying 400. It was at Murula San. That was after I met Ulali at a wedding. So I meet Ulali Chabalala at a wedding. He's pulling up there with the gents, no Zaka, Spanioni. And he's like, you play so nice. I think what caught him is I played Uchimilulu, the Motherland song. And he's like, God damn it, you played note for note. And how old are you? I'm like, I'm 15. It's like, no, I'm putting you on. So the following week, we had a gig. We had a gig in Murula San, which was the first time me playing outside Siabuswa bounds. So that was my first gig. It was with Dr. Malinga, and that was 2006.
And how was that experience? Because I can imagine you're 15, you've never played outside of Siabuswa per se. So you've done things, right? Just like Ekas. So now you're 15, you're getting your very first gig. How was the experience? Do you remember what was happening? What's the biggest, you know, take home?
Highlight.
Yes.
The highlight was there was no rehearsal.
There was no rehearsal.
Oh man.
Yeah. There was no rehearsal. So you had to walk up. Yeah. So there was no rehearsal. The band was Ulali Chabalala on bass, Sbusiso Vilagazi the late on drums, and then Pon Tomasote on piano, Dr. Malinga on vocal, and myself on guitar. And yes, we're playing covers. So meaning I need to know what's going on. Suga. Malinga doesn't care of you know it or not. We must rock.
Yeah.
You understand? So the information that I got from church of knowing about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is the tonic solver, and the chords and progression, Ponso would or Ulali would just say 1, 5, 4, 6, 2, 5, 1. So I would catch it first cycle, the second cycle we're moving. You know what I mean? So that for me was it really helped, because even now I use that card in terms of just grasping stuff as we go, you know. Yes, rehearsal is very important, but are you able to be a rock star and, you know, pull
just
through
catch it
and nail it? Yeah. So I think that's the highlight that I got from that first gig, which now became a norm in most of the other gigs that came with that first gig, because I think after that I was just called in and minimal rehearsals. Yeah.
So did that not get in the way of you in school? Sorry, just one more, and then we'll jump to you. Did that not get into? Did that not get into your way, like with you in school as a 15-year-old?
It did, bro. I think I used to attend school. Jesus Christ, Monday midday and Thursday, and Friday midday. So between Monday to Friday, I'm at school. Monday I'll be there from lunchtime down.
Okay.
And then on Friday I'll leave at
lunch.
At lunch, and then I'll pull up with the guitar and bag and leave it by the security guard, and then lunchtime I'm quiet. So yeah, it really did, man.
Some crazy vibes.
It really did. I think,
looking at your school patterns.
Yeah, no, it was bad, man. Jesus Christ, it was bad. But I had a friend who just called me and said, okay, there's an assignment like this. So please work on it. Monday we're submitting. Or angenzela umntana abantu just apalika malami. Ngiyamkolota. But yeah, it did interfere a lot with my schoolwork. Hey man, hey, it's bad.
That's okay.
Yeah, Lee.
So we can confidently say that you were thrown in the deep end, Zisuka.
Yeah, I was. True. You're right. I was thrown.
Oh, at 15.
At 15. I think at 12, this Peggy Mahlango was the guy that was actually coordinating all this weddings and stuff. He was just trying his luck with this guy called Tshego, you know. He was literally trying his luck. Are we still there?
Yeah.
So I remember at age 12, what's the ngicela ukusebenzisa umntana wala endlini kunama giginyana thize nje wemishado, but in and around siyabuswa, and I'll make sure that he's my responsibility. If anything happens, I'm accountable for it. But 2006 was the deep end, and after that it was even deeper, because from Dr. Malinga, it was soul. I think I ended up playing for most Pretoria artists, and we attended every not Murula. Yes, we had a contract with Sun International, which was Murula Casino, Meropa, and Flamingo Hotel in Kimberley. So we rotated every Thursday. I need to be on the road. Every Thursday I need to be on the road. So now you jiggling your 15-year-old life and school, and you are in this adult environment whereby everybody's just hustling and making sure that their ends meet. But there was not even a Excel, this is how this industry works. Nothing. And you just, you need to have gear, you need to have, you need to check your stuff, you need to make sure with whatever that's happening on radio, you know it. If they call a song on stage and say, Excess, for you to bop, you mustn't be like teka-teki in there and say, that's the inside.
Yes. So you're a 15-year-old that's already doing all of these things. You're going to gigs. I mean, that sounds like a very frequent kind of vibe. At 15, now you're sleeping in hotels.
Which messed me up.
Yeah. I wanted to go there. I wanted to get an understanding. Which now, how are you dealing now with all of these things? Because now, I mean, it's another thing to own a hotel and you're 15 and you're seeing a machita now.
Operating.
Yeah, it's like every guys are thinking and now you're 15 trying to mind your own business. So how did you deal with all of those things as a 15-year-old?
I think, to be honest, Lulu, I think I wasn't really faced by that. My fight was, I just wanted to be on the same sentence as the guitarist at the time, in terms of level of playing. So I used to immediately when we get to the telly, I would hide myself. Either I would chill with the guys or go to the room and be on the guitar because Ukcheka at the time was a real thing.
Sure.
If you remember,
sure.
What's that festival? In Mamelodi, man.
Mritile Park.
Mritile Park. I think the one of the festivals I attended, like one of the first, Lucas Inyatso was headliner there. Zonke had the not Zonke, man. Ulira had the golden hour, and but every time Mans would get on stage, they would just do on sound check, bazobasa. So they were dancing with basa at the time.
Yeah. Just to Now, I remember that era. Like even when the band was hot, people would stand there by the stage.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like peer pressure. You're looking at your hero standing here. It's like.
So I think I was hiding myself to just be on that same level, so that when I get on stage, I go something in Shia for him. Even though I'll be on stage around like 1 p.m. or 12 midday, I didn't mind, but I would know with someone out there is listening, I call hey, So I used that time for trash. I really did, and yeah, I wasn't phased on what the gents was doing at the time. It really didn't bother me at all.
What messed you up?
I don't like hotels.
Okay.
Like currently, I don't like. I think even with the current artists that we work with, we've come down to a point at which we don't. On our hospitality rider, we don't take hotels, we do guest houses and lodges and all of that because into your so even the experience, man, it's cold. Like hotels are cold. I think hotels are cold. They don't have that homey factor in them. But so F hotels.
I hear you.
So is a Melvulwa you want those BNBs?
I do a lot. I do. I love traveling. I really do love traveling. But I'm more of a. I like the interaction with the people that made that establishment. Hotels, it's some rich guy who's in Dubai.
Okay.
You don't even know the story behind it. You just have to read on the newspaper or whatever. But
and there's a board of directors. What? Yeah, people really,
you know what I
don't
mean?
care about.
So you can't even elevate that little Nyana corner and say, this would be nice. Or you know what I mean? You meet the chef at the time who was cooking. What inspired the meal?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So. Hey, you are telling
right. So what's the gig that set everything in motion for you? When you played this gig, everybody knew who Tshego was.
Wow, it was the Questa gig. Yeah, I think the Questa gig was the awakening of Tshego. Besides everything else that I've done before. Which I really am grateful for, you know. I've worked with amazing people, like literally amazing people in the music industry and so forth. But the Questa gig for me was, hey man, it's either you do it or you don't. You know, there was a point where we called it the UEFA. So amongst ourselves. So it would be the Keenan band, it will be the Questa band, it will be the basically these are different types of setups. Questa is drama and guitar, Keenan is full band. Casper, on the other hand, is just Ali keys, and eventually they had a DJ slash drummer who had an SPDX rocking there. But the UEFA conversation was solely based on, did we give it our all? Did we nail this performance? You know what I mean? Did we get to a point whereby we can feel that the crowd really, really had a good time, you know?
Yeah.
And there were points where we would feel it's like, nah, this one wasn't the one. We give it up for, you know, Casper, or we give it up for Keenan. Eventually, Java now came into play when now everything was like we were being booked at the same spots. But we always knew that, we always knew that where Questa is, Keenan is around, Casper is around.
Okay.
So basically what that did was it also creates the conversation with like it made it so definite. You cannot have a Questa without a Tshego.
Sure.
On stage. You know what I mean? We made it so tight that it didn't make sense if one of us is not around.
You
know, and with other cats, it was to a point where you wouldn't even see the difference. Sometimes it's just backtrack and a bass player, or it's backtrack with a drummer and a keyboard player, whatever. But Tina, I think that gig for me really, really did put Tshego on the spotlight. Also because the hip hop world is arrogance, man. You know, you are the one or not. You can be you can be Casper, but Casper is the best in the game. You can be Questa, but Questa is the best in the game. So I'm Tshego, I'm the best in the game, regardless of whoever my peers are. You know, I respect my peers. I respect the people that I share this craft with. But at the end of the day, there's only one almighty guitarist. So yeah,
I hear you. Lalela, I wanna come in. It's very nice. How did you then get the gig? This gig, and then we say I will give it over to Lee to buy you some more. Yeah, after you've answered this, it's Leo.
So you see how nice this thing is. That's why I say I always respect the people that I share this craft with. This gig was given to me by Utshepo Moloi.
Okay.
I think a lot of people don't know. Tsepo he is the first guitarist for Questa, and when he couldn't do Back to the City in 2016, he told the then music director, which was Fifi Superstar, to say, hey, I can't make this gig, but I know Tshego can rock it. And Sia Kunene also vouched for me, and then I pulled in first rehearsal. It was weird. I didn't even know Questa. I was like, bro, who's this? Figuring me out, I 15. Oh, I'm like, no ways. This can't be. Like we from the jazz gig, we from the gospel gig. We know there's 3 vocalists, band, artists. Then
that's totally different.
And there's this assistant or somebody who's a tune, Hey, this bro put up with 2 cars, my man. 2 cars at the hazard. Oh, I was defeated. Like, yes. Until they played Ngud. You know, when they played Ngud, I'm like, oh, it's the Brood.
Oh, I know the song.
Yeah, I know the
song. So that's why I'm country.
Yeah, that was
so it means those guys are what I choose. You know, to shine good now. So it's like about actually now I shine good now. So my size of the hairs.
Size of the hairs, man, you know. And then we did the rehearsal, and he really liked my energy. I liked his energy also, and that's where it all started. It was in 2016, and we've been tight since. But the gig I was given by Tsepo Mloi.
All right.
So on the Questa gig, let's stay there on the Questa gig. I noticed you like playing Umhlaba Wethu. Are you into politics that much, or it's under this song, Noma Uzuma? Which one is it? Umhlaba Wethu phela uvusa le yanto yabo manje.
Yeah, no, kufanele asichazeke.
Uthi uzosho nge-distortion lapha i-rockstar straight.
Yafuneka the explanation.
No, Leroy is coming with some other vibes there. So can I tell you a story about that song? So somebody posted on Instagram and then had the song playing Brendam Dam. And then I fell in love with her rendition of that song. Not good, I'm politically inclined, no. so there was I think on my iTunes, it's one of the most played songs on my library. Every time I apply for something, I always play that song. Every time I try
man.
I always play that. So it's kind of like my prayer. But now here's the funny thing, right? 2019, we at Opikopi.
I saw that one. For me, that was the one. Because I'm political. Yeah, because I'm political. Yeah.
He did it at the Metro thing. It was nice, man. 2018.
So we had Opikopi, right? We are the last act for the night, and Kona Ingo Malasi Panama solo corner between me and Rico the drummer. I was like, no, as opposed to me doing what I usually do, let me play Umhlaba Wethu. So I played Umhlaba Wethu. My goodness. The entire Opikopi went berserk. And that was the last Opikopi since.
Oh yeah, because so after that.
That's why I gave her another politics.
But also there was COVID, because that was 2019.
Yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah, so
March.
2020 COVID.
Yeah, it's 2019, somewhere there. I'll see, but yeah, it's expected.
All right, Lee.
Hey man, how many features have you done that you remember of as the E brand Tshego AMG? And do you think copywriting is much better than gig fee, ne session fee? Ngibona ubaplaga kakhulu lapho other musicians. What would you say in that regard?
I always okay, features first. It's a very small list. It's a very, very short list on official features, which is Java, Questa, Younger Chief, Zano. You see,
Tenderness.
Just a handful. Tenderness. Yeah. From the top of my head, I can't remember, but the copyright conversation is very important, my brother. I think I didn't understand it. Even when Ululu back in the day would try. I think we once had this conversation when we were still working at Zinto. Mr. Maduna, who copyright Samro, it didn't make sense. So I have this problem with, if something doesn't make sense for me, I will never engage too much in it until it sits on me.
Until you understand
now, yeah, now it's like, okay, cool, let me jump on it and try to explain it in a baby step manner in the people around me. Sure. So the copyright thing is more important than the gig fee or the session fee, because it's a forever thing. It's not a gig fee. It's something you get now. Iphelela ku petrol, iphelela ku airtime, none. Copyright is every day, bro. I was actually even listening to some conversation is all about copyrights where they were talking about 150 a second. So if you can just calculate that, would say how long your song is playing, and you are part of the copyright holder, and you are getting 150 a second, and it's playing Monday to Friday. That's something, bro. You know.
Equity.
So
it is.
yeah, that's equity. So I see it as a forever thing. It's wealth. It's not something you must take lightly, and that's what I try to preach to everybody on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen your ministry. You preaching this. And I think it's very important. I think it's very important when I mean, we've been discussing all of these things for years. This whole thing of musicians coming in, you know, artists just coming in, you know, with just voice notes, you know, and then they own the song is useless. It's crazy. It's actually theft at the highest level. You know, you're just coming with, yeah.
It's looting.
It's looting,
it's
yeah.
Looting.
They're looting your intellectual property, yes. It's looting. No, for real. That's looting. I mean, you're sitting there, you know, and you're coming with a voice note, you know, and miraculously, after 2 weeks, you have a hot album. You know, all you had was a voice note. Now, I wrote the song. Recycling. Yeah, I mean, you wrote the song, you arranged, you produced, you did everything, but all you had was a voice note. No, we must address it.
Also,
yeah.
Also, sorry to jump in there. So also another thing, my fellow brothers, is that we don't take our craft seriously to a point that we can even come up with regulations that really govern this industry. The entertainment industry is the most loosely ungovernable entity, to a point that umuntu oku-sports odlala isoccer, odlala ibhola ku-Mvela League is getting way more than us.
And
well taken care of.
Yeah, and that time you are looking at your experience in the game and what you've done, and you are not even matching up, you know. So those are the conversations that I really jump on now, especially with the people that I engage with. I really get to that uncomfortable space whereby we just say, okay, cool, so what is it that we're doing? You know, what's the next step? What are we only gonna end up with the notes, or are we gonna end up with the notes?
Yeah,
you know, because
it must get to the banknotes.
It must get to the banknotes, and also who's speaking on our behalf in that old age home.
No one. Self-regulated.
You know what I'm saying? No one is speaking on our behalf. No one is saying anything, and for that happening means when voice is amongst ourselves, like who's taking a step. Me, my next thing is, after all of this, bruh, I'm fetching the old age home. That's where I want to be. I'm fetching the old age home. There has to be a conversation that just speaks directly to the creative industry, and to a point that I even said, just mute music for one day. Just mute it from news to radio to your car. To just mute music for one day, and then I call in a national anthem man gena kule old age home. I could Nikhulumi because it's really Africa. Just speak it, and then just see what's gonna happen. You're not gonna function. You're really not gonna function. You understand what I'm saying? But it's because we are not creating that conversation with these people and making them uncomfortable. With the sports fraternity, bro. Immediately after matric, there's already conversations happening with
sponsors. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still young. You know what I mean? And it mustn't be
this
like
process repeats itself.
Yeah, we must be at a point whereby your gear speaks for you. Your gear, your intellectual, like the people that you've worked with, the projects that you've been involved with, there has to be like some sort of, you know, organization, not Samro, not Capasso, no, just an organization that says we are the Safa of music.
You want to jump in, Lee?
Yeah, we upcoming DVD. I saw you doing a short drive there, giving people gifts for your DVD. Are you into drives, kind of?
And everybody and people are stealing that idea. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, no. So when I decided to do a DVD, I think between April, and I was like, you know what, our president can decide to close any day. We haven't had a place, like a situation where we can just share energies and capture it. Yes, we've done live shows, we've done the Zoom gigs and all of that, but there's no, you know, that meet and greet and having
Human
a conversation.
interaction.
So what I did was, let me grow this conversation. Yes, we are amidst COVID-19 and that thing is real. Don't think it's not. That thing is real. Very, very. So I met up with a PR company called Growth to Growth. They said, let's do something that hasn't been done in a while. Yes, it's a risk, but let's go for it. I surprised the people that I wanted featured on the DVD. They didn't know that I was coming. With basic gifts, man, and gifts go to the heart. It's really about touching the heart, you know. So that was the purpose of it. It wasn't really like I'm trying to campaign for being a president of the
You have a manifesto hidden somewhere.
So that was the first interaction, and the second interaction was the DVD itself, which was the first show to happen at the State Theatre before and after, since COVID-19 started.
And I'm sure State Theatre holds a very strong place in your heart, man. As a Praetorian, kind of.
Kind of.
You were adopted.
Yeah, I'm fully adopted. It's one of the first theaters I played at, and I think most of the musicians that I know and worked with, I met a State Theatre. So State Theatre was kind of like our baseline, where everybody would just come and chill at the stage door, and that's it. And that's where conversations would happen. Jam sessions would come up from there. Gigs would happen from there. Studio stations would happen from there. So it really holds a soft spot in my heart. That's why I didn't even want to do it anywhere else but the State Theatre.
What has traveling done for you?
Oh, nice.
Woo! Traveling taught me that, hey, love your country.
Serious?
Yeah.
No, really good. Love your country, yo.
Even though there's go for it.
Even though it's we are all, you know, all over the place.
Yeah, but love it still.
Your country. Love it still. Lulu. Yo, guys, I won't lie. I was arrested in the US because I had a Dubai visa, and they thought I'm some terrorist. I had the car. I was from France. There was a conference, a music conference, publishing conference, whatever, that I attended that side, Midem. And then I had business card in my backpack. So they're thinking, nah, this brood is here to terrorize. You're going back.
Combos and communicating.
Yeah, you're going back to South Africa. I lived in Dubai, very, very hot, reaches 50 degrees Celsius. I've been to Texas, where I literally experienced the worst racism I've ever come across in my life.
Tell me about it.
you know, you go to Senegal. We went to Senegal, Nabolulu, the other time, and then you see how people used to be tortured back in the day, and you're like, but
door of no return.
How? Like the door of no return, small cells, and like you ask yourself, how do people live? You know, so you come back home, you're like, God damn it, hey, none of my
Kumnandi ekhaya. Yeah. Kumnandi ekhaya. Nanoma basilutha. Nanoma basilutha kanje silutha igovernment yethu kodwa kusasemnandi ekhaya.
Siyabuya.
Sasemnandi ekhaya.
But traveling really taught me a lot, man. It really did teach me a lot. It taught me humanity. It taught me being humble. It taught me being strong at the same time. You know, if you're gonna leave the country, you are alone. You only have your passport and yourself. Can't call mama. You can't call papa and say, "Come fetch me." Nah.
You can't do jack for you.
Hey man.
Hey man, what's about Tshego
Hey,
America?
Lulu, you remember when we raised funds for that lady who was posted in Ethiopia and couldn't find a flight home?
Yeah. The one that they wanted to smuggle. I can't remember that story. I remember. That was crazy.
It was crazy. Now, me getting a gig in Dubai, I don't know if I'm being smuggled or not. You know?
Hey, it's true.
Like, it's those things, bro.
It's a faith game, man.
Yeah, it's a faith game. So you're like, hey, if Nyahamba, guys, bring
Hey, hey, you're reminding me of a very painful story. But yeah, I know that you get to see. The more you travel, the more you see.
Yeah.
You know, in other countries, people are really, really, really struggling. You know, you know, against there's two sides. Now most of the time, how's this thing possible? You know, but I know you really took me back, Lee. I'm getting.
Yeah.
How long was the Dubai gig?
It was 6 months. 6 months, yeah.
Oh, nice. In a hotel.
Yeah, it's those hotel gigs, bro. You out there.
No wonder you don't like hotels. I blind Dubai.
I mean, after 2 days of being in a hotel, actually 1 day, you know, the second day it's like that food sucks. I hate hotel food. I really do.
You know it all.
We are together in this.
No. I absolutely hate hotel food. And I always have. It's like, hey, you don't know what they put. There's an ingredient there. And it doesn't matter what they put. But that thing is the same. International. You can go anywhere in the world. Food sucks the same way. You don't know who's teaching them how to cook.
No,
it's another story for another day.
Hey, mate. Tshego AMG is a trademark. At some point.
Remember, it takes a year.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a year for your trademark to be fully certified and ready, but it is trademark. So those are the things that I try to actually. But before I even spread the gospel, I always make myself the example. You know, before I can say trademark your name as Drum Catalyst, I cannot speak of that if I have nothing to show for it.
If you've not done it
so yet. So I it's something that's in process and it's happening. So soon enough you'll be seeing that TM at the end. No, cute.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, it's something that's inside the books.
Okay, so
5,400 followers.
Where is this?
Facebook.
On your page.
I'm 5,000. I didn't know.
I saw that. When I tagged you, I was like,
But he's only following 19, so
What is this? Is this Facebook?
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know. But can you follow on Facebook?
Yeah, you can follow. Well, I'm sure
you can follow. It's got a page.
Yeah, I didn't know that I have fun. Shout out.
Wait, 1,000. Not long ago. It's like 5,000, man.
Yeah. So, Tshego,
yes, sir.
what experience gave you your most valuable lesson? Solo nje waqala. It could be in the music space, it could be in life, entirely up to you. But one thing that happened that gave you your biggest lesson.
One thing that happened that gave me my biggest lesson was in the music industry. I stayed with Maphorisa, whom I call my university, because I don't see myself as this Tshego that I am without that man being involved. So his life was, it's either you learn from it or you're gonna suffer what he went through. So which is being part of a band, which was Uhuru at the time, and things didn't work out, contracts, what splits. You see, so I had to put my things in order, and also to be your own boss, you know, and not wait to be validified or validated from Hoa. What time is it?
Ama 5.
Yeah, it's after 5.
After 5.
So Pori taught me to be your own boss, and that I've carried through and through since 2015, because I started working with him 2015, and how he managed to take himself from the pits, because I know Pori when there was nothing, literally after the fame of Uhuru, to the ditch that he was in, and back with DJ Maphorisa that he is. And I kind of used that methodology of his to say, yes, life will throw rocks at you, but it's the comeback that really makes sense. Like, how do you come out of that situation? Yes, you're not starting from zero anymore, you're starting from experience. So my Dubai gig was out of sight, out of mind. When I came back in South Africa, my gigs were all gone. Obviously now it's like, when it's that kind of a situation. But I had to be strong enough to say, okay, cool, what it is that I can do to keep myself afloat and relevant at the time, which now led me to work with Maphorisa, which led to one of the biggest songs that I played on, which was Soweto Baby with Wizkid. And from there, it was now like a trajectory that's making me this person that we're having a conversation with now.
Nice. Over to you, Lee. How many do you still got?
No, just last one. Talking about Maphorisa and him teaching you what he taught you. Visible, man, because Tshego AMG is like a own brand on its own, and would more dominant on your own than being in a band setting. So I think that really worked in your advantage, because every time they see you as an individual, not as part of a band setting. Because even on the last gig that you did with Java, they called you up and you just came on your own, you know, and did that song. I was like, wow, this guy is a brand on his own. That was like amazing.
No, it is.
And in something, you know.
Yes, I think also just to add on to what Lulu asked before your comment, Lee, is I think the passing of great artists, that all of us within the band industry, which I can safely say, end up holding on to. That's what I do. When you call him, hey, I'm here. So what happens is, God forbid, what happens? Yes, what happens? Yes, and now trying to come back into into the system, which was now being rejected because of this very individual, it always makes it's always tough. So what I was advised by Unota, he was like, you play for Questa now. That means any door is possible. Like you can go into any door and say, I'm Questa's guitarist. Then the conversation starts from there.
Yeah.
What you do with it, it's up to you. Just don't tarnish the name, but use the name as a key to whatever that you do. So that's what I've been doing, like through and through. We'll see, okay, cool. I'm Tshego. Yes, I play for Questa, but I'm Tshego AMG, right? I'm still gonna create the little opportunities for myself or for this brand to thrive on its own, so that if Questa decides tomorrow we'll see no more band, I'm going back to the microphone and DJ. I'm still able to be relevant within the music space, and that's what a lot of people tend to miss. We hold on to our principal artists. And I don't see that as something that we need to be doing. We need to be collaborating with our principal artists.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And making if it's a collaboration, it's easier for you to even do anything and not even kill this very brand that you're working with at that time.
Yeah.
I don't know, 100%. You really hit it nail on the head. And I actually always say that I think what musicians must understand is that as a drama, you as a guitarist, I look at it all the time as like somebody who's like a chef, you know, or muto baker, anybody that bakes like cake, you know, whoever that bakes the cake didn't, you know, they don't have a company, they don't have a company, they don't have a company, but they're buying Ilovo, they're buying eggs, new laid eggs, they're buying flowers, but all of these things are different brands collaborating together to make one thing. You know, but now if you downplay yourself as a brand, you know, it's like Ilovo or whatever, Silate, you know, brand of sugar. That's like saying, no, I can only be used only when you want to make a cake by this guy who's so many other people need sugar. You know, so many people need sugar for different things. So I think this is where we are. Most of us don't really understand that you're a brand, and you could give value to many other different things and for many different functions. You know, you don't just only have to make cake. You can make many other things. But let me not preach too much. What's your dream for the industry? Only have 6 more minutes left, 7 more minutes left. What's your dream for the industry?
This is the elevator pitch.
Your dream.
What's my dream?
Yeah.
What's my dream for the industry? To have our own Safa.
Okay.
That's it. My dream for the industry is that kid, 5 years old, I think guitarist. There has to be things in place for that kid, and it must be possible, and not be discouraged with a backup plan. Like it mustn't get to that point. We mustn't feel like we are at the end of the stick. We are in the forefront. We make influential decisions. In terms of what we do, we save lives. You know, we take the uncomfortable into a comfortable space. I safely see ourselves as doctors. So if I can heal someone from like there's a guy from Zim called Silent No. He's a guitar player. That guy, I don't know how I came about to see his post, and he was suicidal, very, very suicidal. And I think a lot of things were happening in and around him at the time. And it was his birthday the following day. And this, he only tells me now, I think like a week or two, he only tells me now that it was his birthday the following day. And on that day, he had promised himself that he's going to kill himself. And I followed him and I sent him a DM and I said, it's unnecessary to do what you're doing. There's more to life than whatever that people are saying about you. Only to find out, Guti, this guy has been following me for a year, or if not a year or two. And when he saw my DM, he quit that idea. And today we've done a collaboration on his album. He's dropping an album. And his story was, because of you reached out, I'm alive today. Like, and the only thing that made me get to you was you playing guitar. We've never met. I don't know you. You don't know me. But
there's a deeper connection.
Yeah, because you play guitar, I followed you. And when you followed me back and sent me that DM that day, you didn't know that you were saving me from myself. So the only thing that I'm dreaming for and fighting for, and one day it will happen, is let this industry be one of, essential industries that people can really be proud to be a part of, and not feel like, man, it's a hobby. Nah.
Sure. Because we also save lives.
Right. Save lives.
Last 3 minutes. If you were to go back to your 12-year-old self, what advice would you give yourself?
Lulu, Jesus Christ. Know the business.
Okay.
Stage is a drug. Know the business. Stage is a drug. Know the business.
Yeah, and that's big, man.
Yeah. Stage.
All right.
There's a point where the only thing anyone or in the music world wants to see themselves do is play. And the only thing you need to ask yourself is, who makes that playing possible? And that's where the business conversation comes in. Make that be part of the possibility and also be part of the playing. Then you are safe.
No, but my brother. Mfethu siyabonga. Tshego AMG.
Thank you very much.
Follow him.
Yeah, most definitely.
Follow me on Instagram, Tshego_AMG. Follow me on Facebook, Tshego AMG. Follow me on Twitter, Tshego_AMG. My DVD is coming soon, guys. It's coming soon. It's coming soon.
You must let us know. We're definitely
you're gonna have an exclusive. You're gonna have an exclusive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'd love to be there.
I really appreciate the time, gentlemen.
No, thank you very much for sharing everything.
Tshego AMG.
Nice.
Thank you for being with us.
I know, it's been great. Like, it's been amazing. Like, this was liberating.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. What am I seeing? What's that? What's going on?
This is the plan.
Yeah. Asante. That's what we're talking about.
That's it.
No. Most definitely, my brother. Really appreciate you coming. Appreciate your time. There's a lot that we still are going to be discussing going forward. Absolutely, I'm a follower and a fan of you speaking about all of these things and sharing the information, so that most cats don't just but just the drug. I mean, I think that analogy is dope. We must learn the business. Thank you very much, man.